Hello everyone, Jose here. This cabinet I built in somewhere in 1988. The idea was for a big dream of a large reef tank there that I was supposed to do. I opened the wall between dining room and kitchen. Then life happened. I've been outside of the house for 17 years. The thumbnail was not clickbait. This canister is an Ehan Classic, has not been opened for 10 years. It's been sitting in the house for the last 10 years. And since I left the house, the tank has been empty for at least for the last 10 years. So I did not realize that there was water there. I tried to get that 75-gallon tank that you saw in the cabinet at the beginning. And my daughter, she's now 31, almost 32, kept saying, no, we're going to set it up someday. I was prepared to have a major stink here. So I kept smelling the thing, coming back for more. I thought it was going to have I opened up the window, set off a fan because I expected to be a major stink. It just had primarily like stagnant water, like you would have a pond or a puddle or something. That's pretty much what it smelled like. So this filter, I started using it somewhere around 1988 with a 75-gallon. I do believe this is the one. It hasn't not really changed. This one is rated for about 90 gallons, more or less. I believe it's a 90 or 60 gallons. This tank was a 75. I think that one is rated for 90 gallons anyway. I opened it up and most of that stuff I'm just throwing away. Those are not bio-ring. Is something that Ehan uses more as a mechanical filter to trap coarse material as it first enters the filter, which enters from the bottom, exits at the top. Most of that, all this other stuff, I was just throwing away. This stuff, considering that it was sitting there for so long, again, the smell is just, that was not horrible. These coarse filtration pad, it's more like the pot scrubbers. So I'm planning to reuse that. I put everything in, whatever I'm reusing, I'm putting in the bleach solution, all the water change materials, canisters or whatever I'm using. And also all the nets that I just put in a separate bucket as I use them. I don't reuse them between tanks just to avoid contamination, just in case. Other than the hoses that were kind of stiff through all the years, I threw them all out. I have it on order. The impeller, everything looks pretty nice. The O-rings, which I have to lubricate once I put everything back together. There was just a buildup of calcium there from the water. So everything, I just gave it a thorough cleaning, and those parts that I could put in the bleach solution, I just put everything in there and just gave everything a thorough cleaning. I have been playing with the idea of UV sterilization with these tanks for at least for the last 4 years, but sometimes the cost can be prohibitive. Been chatting with Sean from Discus North. He's been using it for a while, so I got some advice from him also as far as to what size unit to use. But I figure the cost of one discus, I can almost pay for a good unit, which I hoping to use. Some of the smaller tanks I've already implemented UV sterilizer with a pump, with an internal pump with it, not an outside pump like this one is going to have. I will be using the AquaClear 25-watt unit. It does require a separate pump to run it. The FX6 is way too much flow for it, so this one will provide a nice flow, and I can also control the flow a little bit with a set of valves that I put in inline valves there for ease of changing and cleaning the filter. I had done it before, so they put disconnect pieces and I can just close it off a little bit and control once I figure out the flow of rate and checking it. So I was thoroughly pleased to see that the unit, after almost 37 years, still works, never skipped a beat. It's working really well. I'm surprised. My hat's off to Ehan. I had to do a little dance here, at least let him do it for me. Batman in agreement. And I was really overjoyed because this unit is about $150. It still works well. It's been sitting there for a while. The discus remain they're pretty healthy in general. Occasionally I notice something that is off. I treat them, but I think that having UV sterilizer along with my regular maintenance of a weekly change, because I do keep and like to keep overstacked tanks anyway, so I do 80% once a week and sometimes more if needed. This is the AquaClear unit that I used, so I do need an outside pump to run it, as I said, so I don't mind the overkill and the extra filtration. More filtration, especially in a tank like this, is never a bad idea. There's nothing wrong with it. I was thinking of using purely a mechanical for this thing. I'm still thinking about it, but the UV sterilizer has to pass. It has to be after the filter, so the filter has to push the stuff in, unless I can put it in line before the filter too. I think that will work. I'll probably just put it in before the filter, because the filter is just going to be drawing water through it, and then it can pass through any beneficial bacteria that may be in the canister. That will be post the UV sterilizer. If I put it past the filter, I don't really think it makes any sense, because the UV will possibly harm any, although it's only going to affect the bacteria in the water column. Whatever is in the biomedia that is going to be in the filter should not affect it, but I think it'll be probably a better plan just to put the UV before the filter or after. I have to think about that one. But anyway, I think it's just going to be a good thing to bring back to life this filter that has been sitting there for so many years. I've been trying to pry that tank away from my daughter's hand, and my one of the 37-year-old son still lives there. My ex-wife and I we still co-own the house, and anyway, the kids are still living there. So I thank you so much for watching, and I'm looking forward to studying the UV. I've already studied UV from some of the smaller tanks, again, just to minimize the chance that any free-flowing bacteria in the water column can cause harm to the fish. Thank you so much for watching and your support, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.